Hey everybody, Ryan here, or Rye or RC, and wanted to take a moment to help you to take advantage of any conference or event you may be attending this year. I had the pleasure of attending my first conference back in, I want to say 2011, 2012, as it pertains to business. And I mean, guys, the experience is mind blowing. The last conference I attended was in October, and it was pertaining to importing Amazon and business in general. And it has been an asset to my personal and professional growth. And I want to make sure that with these tips and suggestions and hacks, you too can take full advantage of any conference or event that you may attend this year. So without further ado, let's get started. The three things that I want to discuss in this presentation is getting to your conference, planning for success when you get there, and how you get there, business card hacks, and making friends. Now, when it comes to getting there and planning for success, now sometimes we think about going to a conference, and all we're really thinking about is how much is it to attend the conference, but we don't think about um, the the items associated with actually getting there and staying there. So here are a couple of ways that you can kind of reduce those costs. Some are not going to be feasible for some people. Some people aren't going to like these suggestions, and that's okay. Just take it with a grain of salt. I promise you'll like the business hacks and the making friends part. So you can acquire about a partner special and actually split the cost. There have been times where I haven't been able to afford things like a course or an event. And what I do is I connect with someone else who's considering going, but the price may be out of their budget. And we'll get together and see if we could possibly go together and get some type of special for being a 2-for-1 type deal, and just presenting ourselves as partners and then splitting those costs. And usually, you can save some money with there, and then of course, make a new friend. You could also skip the hotel altogether and use Airbnb. That's airbnb.com. And basically, these are people who are hosting rooms in their house. Some people are giving away their whole house or their apartment, and the rates are pretty low. You can find rooms for 20, 30, $40. And of course, when you're doing this, just be safe. Use the review system. There are people who have stayed in places and they leave a review on how everything was, how clean was it, how friendly or accommodating the person was. So just make sure you're not using like a brand new listing and and possibly putting yourself at risk. But you can definitely reduce your costs, because hotel rooms these days, oh man, they can go from 70, 80 on up. Whereas Airbnb, a lot of times it is a room and a house, and you can get something relatively close. And some of these people on Airbnb actually have accommodations like acting as a shuttle from their house to maybe somewhere that you need to go. And then, of course, using services like Uber or Lyft, that's Lyft with a Y, you can kind of reduce your cab cost. And you can avoid using a rental if you don't want to actually rent a car. You can also consider sharing a hotel room with someone that you've gotten to know, that is going, or a friend, especially if you're doing like the partner special type thing, or if you know someone who is in the Denver, Colorado area, reach out to them. Or if you know someone that's going or planning to go, of course. And I say Denver, Colorado, guys, because the next conference I'm going to is actually in Denver, Colorado. But that's just an example. It doesn't matter where you're going. You can actually share a hotel room. Of course, use common sense and be safe with that strategy as well. Make sure that you're rooming with someone who you trust, or or you began to know. Just be safe with either of these suggestions, of course. Another way is you can fly Spirit or Frontier, depending on where you're going. Personally, guys, I don't like Spirit. Um, the experience has been, it's good for last minute, but I'd rather just plan ahead and fly somewhere else. Spirit usually has about 20 to 30 seats more than the average plane, so it can be a little cramped. Also, Spirit will charge extra for things like snacks, so you can forget the pretzels. They don't charge you to use the bathroom, so that's good. But if you're packing heavy, they'll charge for those bags as well. So Spirit really makes their money on kind of the back end of things. And where it makes sense, you might want to break your trip up into like a bus ride, a ride share, carpool, train, and plane. This can take more time, as in planning and actually getting there, but where it makes sense, you might be able to save $100. So consider breaking your trip up. Maybe you fly in, but you ride the bus back. So again, this depends on your comfort level, your expenses, and for some people, it's just not going to be feasible, especially if they're packing heavy. Maybe they're bringing materials to a conference to show people. So where it makes sense, of course, break the trip up. If it doesn't make sense, then don't worry about it. When you're flying like Spirit, or when you're planning way ahead, usually the plane ride is sufficient. Going there and going back. And let's say you just can't make it all together. Well, connect with those who are attending and inquire about their notes, or their plans to take notes. I am a person who believes in true win-win situations. So if you approach someone with this, offer them something. It doesn't have to be money necessarily, but offer them something for their time. Don't just get into the habit of asking. Make sure that you're contributing, because at the end of the day, they have taken time out to take these notes, and not only that, taking time to share these notes. So they might have handwritten the notes. Now they have to type it so they can share with you, or maybe they'll just take a picture and just upload it to you. And then maybe ask for updates, via social media. Ask them to Snapchat, what's going on, who they're meeting, any immediate go to nuggets that they have to share. And they can do this via Snapchat, Facebook, Periscope, Instagram. Be creative. That way you can kind of feel like you're a part of the event as well. Now, when it comes to business card hacks, Johnny Cupcakes, he's a t-shirt designer. Well, I guess he's more than a t-shirt designer. He sells hats and whatnot, but he's a clothing designer who sells basically clothes with cupcakes on it. And he said one of the most powerful things I've ever heard in my entire life is packaging acts as little billboards. And that's the same thing with business cards. He basically just wants us to take away that you need to make it hard to throw away things that you're giving away. Because when I keep my iPhone box, when I bought an iPhone, it's a constant reminder that I'm a part of the iPhone family. When it's hanging around my room or in the house, it's a constant reminder to the people that come to me that I'm an iPhone user. And then I get questions, how do you like your iPhone? How is the iPhone 6S different from the iPhone 5? Things of that nature. It's a conversation starter. You want to be that conversation starter. You want to be that piece that's always relevant in whatever setting you've left yourself in. So you can do things like make your biz card look like a credit card. Something that easily just fits in the wallet. It's harder to throw away. It's thicker. It looks really cool. People are probably saying, "Hey, look, look at this business card I had." And I've done that. It looks like a credit card. I made it look like a black card, and it was something cool. No one wants to throw away something cool. Instead of using a business card, use a dog tag so that people can actually wear it or have it on like their keychain, or make it a keychain. Use USB bracelets, and when you put the USB into the computer, have something to show, make it short, make it fun, have a brief video, maybe introducing yourself, your products, your service. And then the great thing about the USB bracelet is, not only is it functional, but it can be fashionable too. Have it on there, have your logo on there. Just remain a constant reminder in your prospects' head that, hey, I'm here and this is what I do and this is what I can do. Make your business card a toy. So at this point, it's not an actual card anymore. It's actually like a toy. It's something they can kind of like, finkle with. They can put it on their desk. Again, that ideal of making it hard to throw away. Make your business card a trading card. For those who remember the late 90s when Pokemon cards were really popular, and Digimon and all that stuff, no one wanted to throw away that, even if the card wasn't really worth anything as far as being a powerful card to play. It's kind of hard to throw that away. It's cool looking. You can still use it to some extent. Again, just this idea of making it hard to throw away. So try to make sure that it fits like on a person, or in their wallet. Ideally pretty small. These solutions can really be inexpensive, guys. Literally a couple cents more than maybe just a regular business card. And just be creative in the way that you're presenting yourself, because this is how people are going to remember you. Now, when it comes to connecting with people and making friends, try to connect with people before the actual event. These days, there's tons of groups and forums where people are practically, sharing their enthusiasm for an event. And as it gets closer, more and more people chime in. Get to know these people beforehand. That way, you know to be on the lookout for them when they come. Also, if you're like me, you have a hard time remembering names. Some of these events, people will wear name tags, some won't. It just happens. Sometimes it's not cool to wear name tags. Sometimes name tags aren't supplied, and that's cool. Try to attach a name to a character trait. For example, I remember one guy because he had a nice big belly. And he always had his hand on his belly, and his last name started with a B. So I actually called him by his last name, and I remember that because he had a nice belly. So think about a characteristic trait of a person or what they do and try to associate that with the name. And remember when you meet someone and then you see them again, like in the hallway, don't kind of just like pass them by. You met them, you had a conversation. Like, did that not mean anything? So just a simple hi will suffice. So, just say, hey, how you doing? Are you enjoying yourself? Yes. Okay, great. And, keep it moving. But don't just ignore them after you've made that connection, because you're kind of confirming that that's not a true connection that you made. Just, make sure that they feel relevant. And for those who you really like, ask permission to stay in contact. And if you have a specific goal that you have in mind for them, share that with them, and then share the next step that you like to take to see if what you're thinking is possible to make happen. And lastly, have a good time. Have a good time, make the connections, and take away the golden nuggets that are going to put your personal, your professional growth, just sky high, cloud nine. I hope that you've enjoyed this presentation. I hope that you really enjoy the business card hacks. I think that's my favorite part, because so many people are just handing out cardboard cards. And I mean, those are great. But again, guys, we live in a time and in a business where you have to set yourself apart. So get creative, go out there, make connections, and learn. I hope that you enjoy your event. And of course, if I could be of any help with getting those wheels turning with the creativity, reach out to me. I'm only a message away. Go to ryansfbajourney.com, hit that contact tab, and reach out to me. I look forward to hearing from you.